Shalom and welcome to PowerPoints. We're still studying Paul's letter to Timothy. You know, you can go with this line upon line, precept upon precept. Paul was speaking to Timothy about fleeing from his youthful lust. He's talking to him in 2 Timothy 2:22. It says, "Flee also youthful lust, but follow righteousness, faith, charity, peace with them that the call of the Lord with a pure heart." You know, I don't mean to sound so old school, but sometimes we lack the character and the patience to be able to answer the call at the level that God is calling us to work at. You know, people who are mature in the Lord want to work with other people who are mature, and mature people don't mind trying to help young people kind of come up. But when they do, they have to, the lust, I'm not talking sexual lust here, I'm talking about lust of having to be recognized. Always having to have, well, did you see what I did? Pat him on the back, receive a plaque. And that's really what Paul is speaking here. He says, you got to flee from that need to have to always be acknowledged. Just do what's right. If nobody sees it but you and the Lord, then that is enough. And yes, he's speaking about the lust of the flesh, but all those types of things are self-gratification. And there has to be a place where he's speaking to Timothy and he says, you have to get that self-gratification issue under control in different areas of your life if you're going to lead and you're going to be used by the Lord. And I think sometimes we don't want to speak this to our youth groups or our people, but it doesn't make any difference whether you're, and I know the issues of the flesh are stronger when you're younger than when you're older, but then you have different issues. So there's always something that we have to battle in our soul, and the way to battle it is accountability. You need to belong to a good congregation. You need a strong apostolic covering. You need people who are going to speak into your life, correct you and direct you in love, and you not just get offended with them and then, well, I didn't like what they said, so I'm leaving. I can honestly say the culture here at House of David, we can speak to people and they seem to stay. Some leave, but the thing is, if you can't correct them, then you're not leading them. You need to be in a place where someone with wisdom and has an experience looking out for your well-being, not theirs, is going to speak to you so that the kingdom call in your life, and I'm speaking to leaders now, the people that you have under your care, you're responsible for their call in the sense of not responsible for them finishing, but you are, please hear me, you are responsible to speak into their life. And when you don't, and then they mess up, you have some responsibility in that, particularly when you have some of these older saints and they're real big donors and, they're supporting the ministry and you're afraid to say something, they're going to cut you off, blah, 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 that whole story. You have a responsibility, even as a young pastor, to speak into their life, because when they mess up, it's going to affect your life and the whole house that you're in, your church. So the thing is, if you'll do it in love, and you do it for their well-being, and you understand that you're correcting their character issue for their protection, and they know that, they'll receive it. So I want to pray this with you. Father God, in the name of Yeshua, Lord, anoint the leaders that are listening to this PowerPoint to be able to lead and to speak correction with love, but yet with a surety, knowing that the truth will not come back void. God bless. I'll see you tomorrow.